Notions here again. I'm getting over a bug here. I guess I don't know, it's a cold, and so I'm still sound a little raspy, but I'm doing much better. I'm not sniffing quite as much, and I'm not coughing at all. So hey, I'm doing great. But I thought it's time to get back in and put in some time putting out a few videos here. And so today it's Monday, and I stayed home yesterday from services. I didn't go. There's no sense in sharing the germ, So I stayed home, but it's getting a lot better. So I'll probably be back in service on Wednesday. So anyways, but the reason why I wanted to do this video today is because I have a little gadget here from a company called Point Mass. This is pretty new. I've never seen it before. They reached out to me and said, would you do, if we sent it to you, would you check it out? And I said, well, I really don't want to, have a sponsor situation going on. If you send it to me and I send it back, that way I can be honest about my opinion on it. And yes, I put out a video, but, that I was going to share exactly what I thought. And so they were good with that. And they sent me the little devices. And of course, how they say never judge a book by its cover. Well, when I got it, I thought, oh no, I'm not sure about this one, because let me show it to you. Here's the company, Point Mass, right? You see that? That was the card that came with it, and they sent me two of them, and they look like this. Here's one. They're both the same. One's heavier than the other. So here's one of them here. And I'll just let you take a look at it. It's made of brass. It feels heavy. It has sort of a elongated hexagon shape. Almost didn't say that right. And there's obviously a screw here that'll tighten it in place. And the purpose of this is that it's supposed to go on one of the top braces that's closest, that's on the E side, the high E side, that's somewhat close to the bridge. So it'll be up in here. And so, and it clamps on there. And what it's supposed to do is kind of smooth out, take out the harshness, or kind of mellow out the tone. That's what they claim anyways. Well, my first thought is, well, basically you're just adding weight to a brace. But then when I started looking at the devices, we've got two of them. Here's another one, same exact shape, same style, except it's bigger. As you'll see, it's heavier. And the purpose of the bigger one is for obviously larger guitars, and the small one is for maybe parlor size or smaller size guitar. But, they did state, to experiment with it. You can even try it on different braces. But basically what you're doing is it's sort of it's sort of muting some of the harshness of the guitar, basically. And so I thought, you know what? First guitar I'm going to try it on is a 12-string. I have this beautiful, beautiful, just gorgeous Taylor. This is their Builder's Edition from last year. And it, has maple, flamed maple back and sides, and spruce top. And as you can see, it's gorgeous with its bevels. And it's just a very, very beautiful guitar. Very nicely made. And in itself, I bought it because I liked the way it sounded. But there is a little bit of a harsh tone on this that I would love to be able to bring down, because you can hear it when I'm playing it. In fact, every time I've played this guitar, somebody would make a comment, it's too chimey. So I thought what I would do is, do a few strums on this, add one of these little devices here made by Point Mass, and put it in place right about here. And there's a brace that's coming across here. So I would stick it right on the side of the E string, obviously right here, clamp it on, and see if it makes a difference. Because if it makes a difference and it kind of smooths out that sound, you can hear it. Now I'm getting a little aggressive there, and I'm using a real small pick so that I make sure that I kind of keep the depth of the pick end that I'm using sort of even when I do this, because I want to do everything the same so that we can tell, does that weight, does it make a difference? It's not the most scientific setup here. I mean, basically, there's some variables in this, in that, I have to strum the same, I have to strum in the same spot, I have to leave the pickup and the mics set, because I do have this plugged in right now. I've got it plugged into my BIX. It's a DI going out to a Bose amplifier, but everything's set neutral. Okay, I'm just trying to amplify so that you could hear the sound. And then I have a microphone here for my voice, but also it's going to pick up some of the guitar. But we're going to do it the same way. It doesn't matter, how I have it set up. The whole idea is that you hear before and after doing it the same way. And does that weight make a difference? And so, because if it does, to me, something like this has an application. If you have a certain instrument that perhaps you'd like to tone it down a little bit, once you install one of these and leave it on, it could make that difference. When they build these guitars, they're tap tuning the top when they're taking off some of the weight from the braces. And those braces, they try to get them as fine as possible. They try to have as little brace as possible, still be able to support the neck, the top, so that it doesn't cave in on you, give in. And so what you're doing is adding back a little bit of that weight. And perhaps on some things, there's a place for that. I don't know, that you can make some adjustments or move it around and maybe find that sweet spot that gives you the sound you're looking for out of that guitar. So I'm saying all that to say that I've already played around with this, and I heard a big difference on this 12 string. Now I'm going to do some other guitars too. In fact, I'm even going to try it on my Ferk baritone. Although I like that guitar, I'm curious as to whether or not, if there would be a change, if I would hear it, and if I liked it. I don't know. We'll see. I might say, no, not that. It's too all low end, and it doesn't make a difference. But I wanted to try that. I've got a couple of guitars that have a little chimey sound to them, so I thought I'd try those. I have a Martin that's made of all HPL, top and back. Maybe that'd be a good one. I don't know. I just have to think it out. But for today, just today, let's, instead of getting it confusing with a whole bunch of different guitars, let's just do one at a time. And so we're going to start with the 12 string here. And I'm going to strum out, just a few chords, pick them a little bit, and then I'll put this on and do the same thing. And then you tell me, do you hear a difference? Does it smooth out that chiminess? Does it, mellow out the guitar? Does it, make it, do you like the sound better with it on or off? Can you hear it? Can you hear the differences? And then I noticed he's selling these on eBay, okay? And I saw a price tag of $45. And so that'd be my other question is, what do you think? Would you buy something for that price if you could put it on your guitar and made your guitar sound better? Now, these are made of brass. They do have a specific shape. They are made so that they'll fit over that just about any standard brace. And there is a patent pending on this design. So it's not something you can go out and just buy. You could probably buy other weights and put them on there, but you'll notice the shape of this, the way it's set is it pretty much is the shape of a brace, Plus, it's rounded on, you know, it has the hex shape on the top, so it's not square. So I don't know if any of that, all that makes a difference or was taken into consideration. But you're also paying for innovation. It's similar to tone bar. Remember I did tone bar? We heard a difference. I know a lot of people liked tone bar and thought it was worth it. You know, you look at the tone bar, it's the same kind of thing. It's a wire, but it has a specific gauge. I think it was also made of some kind of, I don't know, I think it was brass. I don't know what it was. It was a little more flexible, so perhaps not brass. But in any case, it was his design. He had the patent on it. It was his innovation. It's his idea. And so you're paying for an idea as well. So kind of keep that in mind, and then give me your honest opinion on what you think before and after. I have to say, I have heard a difference. So let's see if I can pick it up. It's really difficult, you know, setting this up so that everything is done the same way. You know, we're trying to capture it on a phone, and so that's challenging because I am not a music studio by any means. But you know, in my own way, I can still hear. I can hear the differences, and I can tell you what I think. Okay, so let's get started with this, and let's see what we come up with, and see if this little gadget makes a difference. Are you ready? Okay. So, what'd you think? I wanted to show this to you here. I don't know if you can see inside there, but there it is on the brace. See it over here? Right alongside the E string. And it's just clamped there. Basically, it's very simple. It's not much to install it. And yet, when you put it on, I hear a big difference. I'm not sure I'm picking it up with the recording, but I can tell you it makes a difference. Would I get one? I like what I hear, and I'm thinking I would. I'm thinking I would leave this in. I have to send it back because that was the agreement. I was just going to try it out, but that I would get no compensation for doing this video, but that I would be honest about it. And I'm being honest. For this guitar, now I'm not saying for other guitars, but right now, so far, for this Taylor, I'd say it works. It makes a difference. And it's taking out an unwanted... There's a harshness that usually falls in between the G and the B string. It's usually that G string, really. Right here. Because it's the first place that the octave shows up. Because the first two, the B and the E, they're duplicated. But you get to the G string, you got the octave, and that octave usually is a little bit on the harsh side to me. Well, this tamed it. I think it sounds pretty good. So yeah, it works. Now, so again, let me know what you think. Do you think it mellowed out the sound? Do you take out that harshness that we don't like? That several people have mentioned to me, a chiminess in my 12-string Taylor that they didn't like. So did it help? Might not have completely removed it because this is a maple guitar now. It's going to be bright. And so, but let me know what you think. All right. So we'll look forward to hearing your comments. And I hope you all have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.